The debate began with a very frosty opening. The candidates came out, did not shake hands, and the discussion turned quickly to the video that was released last week from 2005 featuring Donald Trump making some lewd remarks.
This was locker room talk. I'm not proud of it. Nobody has more respect for women than I do.
He compared the video favorably, in his view, to the behavior of Bill Clinton.
If you look at Bill Clinton, far worse, minor words, and his was action. His was what he's done to women. There's never been anybody in the history of politics in this nation that's been so abusive to women.
Hillary Clinton didn't address the attacks on her husband directly. She chose instead to paraphrase Michelle Obama.
When I hear something like that, I am reminded of what my friend Michelle Obama advised us all. When they go low, you go high.
Trump repeatedly turned attention to Hillary Clinton's use of a private email server as Secretary of State.
But if I win, I am going to instruct my Attorney General to get a special prosecutor to look into your situation.
After a year-long investigation, there is no evidence that anyone hacked the server I was using.
Hillary Clinton tried again to tie Donald Trump's history on tax policy to his history personally of avoiding taxes, citing a New York Times article suggesting that a near $1 billion loss in the mid-'90s had allowed him to avoid paying taxes for nearly 2 decades.
People like Donald who paid zero in taxes, zero for our vets, zero for our military, zero for health and education. That is wrong.
Asked directly if he had tried to avoid paying taxes in this way by the moderator, Trump replied,
"Of course I do. Of course I do. And so do all of her donors, or most of her donors."
An audience member asked the candidates to discuss how they could stop Islamophobia. Donald Trump took the question first.
These are radical Islamic terrorists, and she won't even mention the word.
We are not at war with Islam, and it is a mistake, and it plays into the hands of the terrorists to act as though we are.
Could you please explain whether or not the Muslim ban still stands?
It's called extreme vetting.
We will have vetting that is as tough as it needs to be. But it is important for us as a policy, not to say, as Donald has said, we're going to ban people based on a religion. How do you do that? We are a country founded on religious freedom and liberty.
The debate ended on very different terms than it began. An audience member, for the last question of the night, asked the candidates to name one positive quality in their opponent.
I respect his children. His children are incredibly able and devoted, and I think that says a lot about Donald. I don't agree with nearly anything else he says or does, but I do respect that. And I think that is something that, as a mother and a grandmother, is very important to me.
I consider that a compliment. I will say this about Hillary. She doesn't quit. She doesn't give up. I respect that. I tell it like it is. She's a fighter. I disagree with much of what she's fighting for. I do disagree with her judgment in many cases. But she does fight hard, and she doesn't quit, and she doesn't give up, and I consider that to be a very good trait.